Brad Williams, Frugal Finance Mortgages. When you're messing around with a mortgage, be prepared for a ton of documentation. I owned a mortgage company long ago, and my biggest complaint was the amount of paperwork that is so often overlooked on the part of the buyer or the person refinancing. You're under the gun. Typically, in the old days in California, you'd work with an escrow officer. You'd schedule an appointment, you'd show up, or back then, you'd actually send somebody out to your house to sign the loan documents. And everyone's pushy. Everyone's under the gun to get from point A to point B, leaving you in the dust because they don't give you enough time to read the documentation. And today, the documentation's even worse. But there's one advantage, and that is everything is via electronic e-doc, which allows you a little more freedom. Somebody's not looking over your shoulder. You don't have a stopwatch timing you. So the key thing here is the documentation. Be sure to read it. I know it's a challenge because lenders don't make it easy. And secondly, you can't change anything. Typically, you can't modify their boilerplate documentation. It is what it is, and you are obligating yourself to follow these rules and regulations. Be sure to read all the documentation. That being said, what documents should I receive before closing on a mortgage loan? Before closing on a mortgage, you can expect to receive documents required by state and federal law and contractual documents. You can expect to receive various types of documents, documents required by federal law. These documents inform you of the key terms, provisions, and costs of your loan. They outline your key rights and responsibility as a borrower and record the transaction between you and your lender. These documents include the loan estimate form that lays out important information about the loan you applied for. The lender sends you a loan estimate within 3 business days of receiving your application. The closing disclosure is a form that lists all final terms of the loan you've selected, final closing costs, and the details of who pays and who receives money at closing. Your lender sends you a closing disclosure at least 3 business days before closing. I have videos on all this information. Check it out under the playlist Mortgage. The notice of the right to rescind for loans not used to purchase a home. For example, a refinance or a home equity line of credit. This notice informs you that you have 3 business days from the lender's fulfillment of certain conditions to cancel your loan and provide a form for canceling the loan. Called the 3-day right of rescission. The initial escrow statement, which lists the estimated taxes, insurance premiums, and other charges the lender anticipates paying from your escrow account during the first year of your loan. Note, you will not receive a loan estimate or closing disclosure if you're shopping for a reverse mortgage, a home equity line of credit, a manufactured housing mobile home not secured by real estate, or a subordinated loan through certain types of home buyer assistance programs. For these kinds of loans, you should receive a truth in lending disclosure. If you're shopping for a reverse mortgage, you should also receive a good faith estimate and a HUD-1 settlement statement. Contractual documents include a promissory note, which describes what you're agreeing to. It provides you with details regarding your loan, including the amount you owe, the interest rate of the mortgage loan, the date when the payments are to be made, the total amount you will pay, the length of time for payment, whether and how the payment amounts can change, and the place where the payments are to be sent. A mortgage or security instrument, this explains your responsibilities and rights as a borrower. The mortgage grants the lender or servicer the right to foreclose on your home if you fail to make payments as you agreed. State and local government mandated documents. These are documents that fulfill state and local government requirements, generally for the purpose of collecting information and protecting you. Lender documents. These are documents added by the lender, for example, an affidavit of occupancy. If you have questions relating to any of this information, Post-its. If you have any other tips related to the mortgage loan documentation, post it. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. See you soon.